put their account in the training lab, just like a test case. And I'll put a fake employee in. Normally I just use my information just to show them the capabilities. Now, go ahead and go on in. What were we at, Betty's? And go to group portal. And employees, employee search, and then click on you. Now, I already have this page pulled up, so I don't teach the employer how to get to this spot, but this is what I show the employer. I show them what Everwell can capture. So this page, not really that profound, simple stuff. Username, gender, birth date, social security number, job information, their sales, title, their payroll frequency, hire date, apartments, eligibility, salary, home information, work information.
Where did you get this? What part was this in?
This is just the employees.
When you click on the employee name,
And all this stuff pulls up and you fill it in?
well, you already typed it in when you registered them.
I'm showing you the end result. I'll show you how to get here.
Okay.
But I'm just showing you the end result. So this as a system, if the employer needed any data, this is what's there. Now, most employers who have some, maybe not all of this data, normally have it either typed out, written out, or in a Word or Excel file somewhere. Again, very susceptible to theft, fraud, all of the above, or even data damage. You know, the computer breaks down or a lightning storm hits. Now all of that's gone. This is cloud-based, so access it from anywhere and it's safe and secure. Now that's pretty simple. That's just basic information. We take it a step further. We now can house all of your dependent information. So as we build the system, we have not just you, but the spouses and the kids and their birth dates. So a year from now, the government decides, you know what, 25 employees or more, you have to offer health insurance. And now I got 25-man accounts reaching out to health insurance agencies saying, hey, I gotta start offering benefits again. And they say, well, get me a census. What Everwell can do is with one click, your census is done. Beneficiaries, how often does an account call you and say so-and-so wants to know who the beneficiary is on their life insurance, their accident plan? All of that's listed right here. Again, saving time, putting all the information in one spot. Qualifying events, my absolute favorite part. This is where we track what happens to your employee during their tenure. So, no, it's okay. There's always one in every class. So if we go to add qualifying event, she clicks this drop-down box. I now can track all my employees here. Birth, change in dependents, change of address, Medicare eligibility, death, disabled, disability, divorce, loss of coverage, absence, FMLA, termination, all of those things. So you leave my company, I mark your termination date. You get married, I mark your marital date. You get divorced, I put that in here. It shows up as a life event for you. The reason why I like that is I also have the ability, go ahead and click away, to comment and add a file. So what I can do by adding a file, you get married. So what does every vendor that I have at my company need now? What does the FMLA company, the life insurance, the disability, the health insurance, what do they ask for? Marriage certificate. So what I do is I ask you to bring it in, I scan it, I upload it, and I give it back to you. Versus leaving it on my desk for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just sitting there, or photocopied in a file folder for someone to grab or get a hold of.
This is something they can access, because I have a couple of clients that can probably use this, we have Everwell.
It's available for everyone who has it. Again, my goal today is to show you a side of Everwell you may not even knew existed. They never taught us this. When Everwell came out, they never showed us this. It took me playing around to figure it out.
So you're saying the employer goes in and does this? We're not doing this then?
I would prefer to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm
that's what I was
saving you
wondering.
time if I do it. Now, if you're an employer that has an HR person, maybe this is just a tool for the HR person, and they love you for bringing it to them. But most of the businesses I'm showing this to don't have anything, let alone an HR department. So
Right.
yes, we can manage this as well.
So if it's already managed, you got everybody in there and then they go, hey, I've got a new employee, you plug it in. Hey, somebody got married, you're plugging that in and send me the document, or at some point they kind of take over the reins.
It's all based on the account and your relationship. I tell you what though, you want enrollment conditions every year where you see everybody one-on-one?
That's a good time to get the changes in.
Absolutely.
So you can add more than select type of qualifying event, so if it's marriage and then they're gone or on family leave, is there another place where you can add another one
Well,
of those?
once you add an event,
Oh, it opens up again?
yeah. So these other things, go ahead.
It'll start adding them.
Gotcha.
Like a
Yeah.
tally.
So pending enrollments, coverage, defined contribution, those are all insurance things. Comments and documents is something I started using recently with my accounts, because this is a spot where they can add a comment or a file. And at first I was like, I don't understand the purpose, but then I started to think outside of the box. And I've got employers now that what they'll put here are uniform sizes, or gluten allergies, or preferences on whatever. But now when they're looking at their employee in Everwell, that type of data is there as well too. Plus they can upload files. So I've got employers that are now uploading resumes, performance reviews, termination letters.
Emergency contact.
It's all in there. So now they're sitting on a beach. So-and-so reaches out and says, hey, so-and-so's questioning why you terminated them. We need a copy of their performance review. Let me log in on my phone and email it to you. There it is. And again, it's all secure online. They have to have a username and password to access this data, and the employees don't have access to this. Only the employer has access to it. So it's their personal vault of information. See, 12 years ago, we just went in and saved them on pre-tax dollars. Now I'm putting a system in their hands, building it for them, implementing it for them, and it's making their business better. I look at this as if I were a QuickBooks salesman, I'm walking through the door and giving you a tool that you would pay for if I asked you to. But the beauty is once I show you what it can do for you and you ask me how much, it's the best answer ever. The system's not gonna cost you anything. I've stopped saying Aflac doesn't cost you anything because I get employers to pay for it. So I'm gonna give you the system, now do you wanna buy everybody a plan on the system?
So if you scan a document in, if you scan it and you send it to your document file, you can pull it up from the document file and attach it to here?
Yeah.
When you hit the choose file,
Yeah.
it literally pulls up my
Stuff, yeah.
library.
Okay.
It's just like if you're attaching a file to an
Okay.
email,
Yep.
it does the same thing.
And I've got some, just to let you guys know, I've got some employers that say, I've got 3 people with access to this system. I don't want them to be able to access everyone's performance reviews. Okay, then I teach you how to password protect PDFs. So you upload it to the system with an extra layer of password protection. Perfect. Now nobody can get a hold of it.
And what if they ask you, what if Everwell goes away, or what is the cost for, enhancements?
Okay, well, enhancements cost nothing. This is 100% funded by us. And that's where you just go to Aflac's credibility. We've been around since 1955, we're A+ superior rated, we're here to stay. Questions?
So, this is awesome to take into a place. So you're saying, take this into a place where we already have our Aflac to start, kind of fiddling with it type of thing, right? People that trust you and so forth. But how do you go into a new account, because this is awesome for a new big account, and they go, oh yeah, we want that, but we don't have Aflac. I mean, it's gotta be hand in hand, right?
Oh,
I mean, at what point do you say,
I mean, they absolutely go together. Now, let's talk about where this is not a fit. This is not a fit with companies that already have something like this. And most large accounts have something like this. In fact, most large accounts have a full bin admin system. Not only does it have the ability to do all of this, but it has the ability to do payroll. It has the ability to enroll them in 401k. It has the ability to enroll the health insurance. Everwell does not have that ability. Everwell is available for any size account, but this side of it is not necessarily the best fit for 100, 150, a 200 man account, because it's not built to do this, but it's a nice feature. Now they are enhancing Everwell to be able to one day do payroll, to be a full bin admin system, but right now that's not what it is. See, but I find that most people who are calling on accounts today are calling on the under 50 market that's struggling to be profitable, and the one thing they need is a way to contain costs, and simplifying the way they manage employee data is one of the easiest ways to contain costs, especially when I'm building the system myself. So note that this has a target audience, and the good news is it's the target audience that's the bread and butter of what we do, and it's over 95% of our overall portfolio. You get into a 1,000-man account, they're gonna want a Celerix, they're gonna want an Aflac at work, they're gonna want a full bin admin system. The beauty is we have that, but Everwell is that missing piece we've never had for the majority of businesses I work with. Do you have a question?
Yeah, how about reporting functions on it? Let's say you just wanna pull up audit history. Can they pull that up?
When you run the report, it pulls all fields.
It will pull all fields. Okay.
Yeah,
How
so
do
you
you
can't
run the report?
go up to the very top. And it's just up there, the reports.
So it'll pull all that.
Yeah.
At least every field that's entered.
Correct.
How do you pull up the census? They needed it.
That's one of the reports.
Okay.
Is that it?
Go to payroll would be the better one to do, I think. It would be that.
Yeah.
Do we have any paperwork or anything that we can brochure or information that outside of letting them, that we can get to be able to help us get in the door?
You mean around this side of it?
Yeah.
No, and here's why. Nobody's looking at Everwell this way. Literally, I'm teaching you guys my secret. This is what I used for Everwell. I've got Everwell producers in my state that have written $200,000 on Everwell and only use it as an enrollment tool. They've never once actually shown a business owner what the business owner can do. The business owner hasn't even logged in. I mean, they just go and pay their Aflac bill like they normally would. They didn't know that the agent was using a different method. If you want to use Everwell as an enrollment tool, go right ahead. For the account that you have 100% participation and everybody loves you, great, keep going. I'm showing you a way to get into that account that 20 years ago had great enrollment conditions, and now you're stuck in the basement seeing one employee a year when there's 30 new hires that you never get to see. It gives you a reason to get back in front of them. Now, before we take a break, how about I show you guys how to enroll an employee faster than you do in S&G?
Okay. Ha, ha.
Can I just ask one specific question?
You and I are gonna be best friends.
How does this relate to pre-tax? In other words, does this system give them particular advantages in doing a pre-tax plan?
Over S&G?
Yeah.
Or, no?
Can I add a smidge there? The life event change list that you saw, how many times do you verbally have to tell an account, unless it was this, unless it was
Yeah.
this, unless it was this, unless it was this? They now have the list inside the system, and if the employee doesn't give me the document that matches what's on the list, let's assume other is not there. If it's not on the list and you don't have how do you have documentation that supports other? What the hell does that look like?
Yeah, exactly.
Your story versus my story?
Yeah.
I'm saying if you don't have the documentation that supports something on this list, it's not a qualifying event. So now we're giving the business owner a greater tool versus my opinion, they call flex, you can drop your product, Aflac lady's crazy, which is true, you can drop your product, you can't stop your deduction. Imagine Aflac trying to say that. This gives the owner a leg to stand on and they go, okay, Sean, come on in, let's pull the system up, what event did you have? Well, I didn't have one of those. Oh, dang. So it's really giving the owner a lot more oomph than the old SRAs and PAs. Not that we don't still wanna do it, but if an owner's gonna allow an employee to make that change, I need the documentation that supports it. We're really saving our owners more on the back end now with this type of system than anything we've ever done. Cause SRAs, I've had a building pulled up for open enrollment, thing burned to the ground. All of last year's paperwork that they had, I still had mine, all theirs went up in flames. No open enrollment.
This is great, especially if you're one of us the older people that have, section 125 accounts out there that need to keep this information available for possible auditing. I have one manufacturer, they get audited every couple of years because of what they make. They make bullets. And they have a lot of governments, both
They probably get
local,
audited
state, and
every year.
federal. Yeah, more than every year, I think.
So our accounts that are, you're saying over 150, like I have accounts that do all their enrolling through ADP. I don't know if Paychex is doing that, I'm assuming they are doing that too. So,
This would be a duplication of efforts. If you
So-
tried to sell this as a way to manage their employee data, because ADP is already doing it for them.
okay,
And ADP is doing a better job than Everwell will.
okay.
So it's not like you're gonna go in and say, hey, instead of
You don't wanna
ADP,
sell against
we can
them.
do Everwell and it's free, because then they lose half of their capability by leaving ADP. that is that fine line. You can still use Everwell to enroll the company.
Right,
You're just not telling them to eliminate ADP in that process. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Yeah.
so. Does that mean that if they're under those, I mean, is there a cutoff that we have an idea of what? if
No,
you
we've
got-
had 100-man accounts that aren't managing their employees through any system.
Okay,
They're using QuickBooks to write checks every week and that's it.
okay,
So they adopted this like the 5-man account adopts it.
right,
Now,
Could be those $8 an hour, $10 an hour small home healthcare companies that are managing a lot of this through Excel spreadsheets that don't necessarily have a place to house it.
Yeah.
Something like that, restaurants maybe.
There's no Aflac branding on any of this. Therefore, the trust that you've built up with the company, been here since 1955, we do this, all that stuff. They look at that and they say, well, wait, is this an add-on, or is this a separate company that you contracted to do all this, or?
here's the beauty. Again, the misconception is that Aflac is nothing but a voluntary provider that provides insurance to employees. Because this is branded differently, it's easier to say, this is the employer tool that we've created. It doesn't have insurance. You know what I mean? Like, you see the Aflac logo, and I get it, the duck's the big brand statement, everybody recognizes it, but we look at this, the logo, and we go, insurance. And now all the negative connotations that go with that. Expensive, cumbersome, administrative, employer costs. So when I show them this, they're going, Everwell, what's that? Which 12 years ago, that was the beauty. I could walk through the door, I met with Aflac. Aflac, what's that? I'm glad you asked.
Everwell has been in the computer and knowledge base, or information based, business for a while. There are people that know